Alright guys, thank you for checking in on Stormtopia.com and the Stormtopia.com Facebook page. We're going to have our daily weather update right now. Well, it hasn't been the first Arctic outbreak of the season, but it's definitely been the most intense. We've got freezing and frosts and whatever you want to call it spreading from the Midwest back into the heartland, back into all the way into the mid-south at this time. So a lot of folks getting their first frost in areas that usually don't see it this earlier in the year. We're going to jump right into the models now. I'll take you out to the NAM. Here you can see, yes, a big trough in the eastern part of the country for today and even into tomorrow. By tomorrow, it's going to start to exit the eastern part of the country and will mainly be have its presence felt over the mid-Atlantic into the northeast, possibly also the eastern southeast in places like South Carolina and North Carolina. Now, by the time we make our way out to Monday, a number of things are going to be happening. There's going to be a low pressure center that's going to try to back into Atlantic Canada and into New England. But further west we shift our attention, you can see how cooler air is coming into the Pacific Northwest. The reason for that is we saw a cold front and heavy rain move through for classic Pacific Northwest storm. Now, here's the deal. What happens here is we got a big ridge into here, and the big trough, well, not a big trough, but definitely a bona fide trough into there. So in between, we start to see mixed precip, including snow, rain, and even some ice developing in the Rockies. That strengthens into a 1,000 millibar low as it moves north into the northern plains, into areas like Montana, and it never really gets that strong, but depending on what model you look at, there would be some snow for those areas from the storm, mostly like places like western, North, and South Dakota. However, at the same time while that is happening, a new Pacific Northwest storm is slamming into Washington, Oregon, and Northern California. Heavy rain, strong winds, and higher elevation snow, but this is not uncommon. Unfortunately, it's coming right behind the storm that we just saw. This is coming through on Tuesday night, and we just saw one come through. Because of that, things get complicated. At this point, we've got a lot of cool air that's lodged in from both these storms into the Pacific Northwest. Doesn't look like a lot, but it is a lot. At the same time, we've got an Indian summer for a lot of folks, all the way back into the east. Now what happens here is with that remnant low pressure system that we saw slam into the west, lodged in between these two warm and cold masses, it's the perfect environment for this weak 1,000 10 millibar low to strengthen, and that's exactly what it does. Here, look at the GFS: heavy rain, possibly even severe weather coming up through the Ohio Valley, or excuse me, not the Ohio Valley, but the southern Midwest back into the southern plains. At the same time, there's plenty of northwest colder winds, and because of that, there's also significant snow, possibly 6 to 12 inches from the central northern plains back in even into the Midwest. Not saying this will verify, it's still a little while out, and the GFS isn't the most accurate model. You could especially say that it won't verify when you look at the difference between the GFS and the DJEX. DJEX says the main threat will not be snow, but severe weather. That would occur across the Mid-South. Pretty big severe weather outbreak if you ask me. There's enough cool air that maybe a brief period of snow for parts of the heartland, but really not a very big deal. However, still more models that we have to look at. Hopefully I haven't kept you here too long, so I'm just going to try to kill two birds with one stone. Right now, as this video is being recorded as of Saturday, the CMC and the European model are in good agreement, and here you can see, I'm just going to show you the CMC, showing you the low pressure center comes up through the areas that the GFS and the DJEX have it, except pretty big difference. Instead of blasting east, it hooks northeast, kind of similar to the European, very similar to the European. That's why is the CMC bringing snow for the plains, and but really no severe outbreak, nothing of the sort. Does bring some snow into the southern plains with the new shortwave, but that's a whole nother story. Alright guys, thank you for checking in on Stormtopia.com and the Stormtopia.com Facebook page. I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned, please spread the word about our website, and have a great day.